Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
So now that we know all of our school photos are in some kind of government database, and yeah, like all school photos, apparently those companies that were taking our photos and are still taking photos of people's kids today, yeah, they upload everyone's photos to like a giant government database. Why? We don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so I will say that I was aware with my oldest two that they were using the children's school pictures under the Smile Safe Kids organization through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children through Life Touch Photography. That these pictures will be going through that organization in the event that children went missing. Now, they were using this system, telling us parents that they were using the system so that they were able to quickly locate children in the event they went missing. All right. Now, have I ever seen this process be done for a child that actually has gone missing over the years? I can't say that I have. I have never seen anything under Smile Safe Kids being posted on the news, on the TV, for when children go missing. I've never seen it done, okay?
Parents are pissed off about the LifeTouch CEO being in the files, but let me go ahead and take it a couple steps further for you. So you all know the curriculum McGraw-Hill, right? But do you know the history of McGraw-Hill? And do you know who McGraw-Hill is also owned by? McGraw-Hill is owned by a private equity firm called Platinum. And Platinum Equity also owns Jostens, one of the largest yearbook makers in the nation. I also sell all like the graduation merch and all that stuff too, but we won't get into that. But Kyle, why do I care about McGraw-Hill and Jostens and Platinum Equity? I'm so glad that you asked. Robert Maxwell was once part owner of McGraw-Hill, the curriculum that is widely used throughout our nation. Who is Robert Maxwell? Ghislaine Maxwell's dad. So what we have here is we have these people creating a catalog of our children year by year by year by year. And they're all controlled pretty much under like the same or similar umbrella. It's all connected. Cool, huh?
They could identify and locate children like they were ordering them from a menu. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is crazy. I don't it has me shook. I mean, what the hell do you expect they doing? Like, this is 100% this what they doing. Absolutely. And so, no, it's even probably going to get worse, too. And this is the guy. Billionaire Les Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret, is now unredacted as a co-conspirator. He gave Epstein power of attorney and a Manhattan mansion. Wait a minute. So this guy gave Jeffrey Epstein a Manhattan mansion? Well, why would he do that? That seems a little bit like, that's weird. Why would somebody just give away a mansion like that? Wow. What are the odds of that?
Take a look at your local schools. TRRFCC. Let's take a look. If you need to know this symbolism, ask in the comments. Traffic. They're telling you in plain sight. This school hands out. It's supposed to be terrific, but it's really traffic tickets. It's a ticket for good kids. Your kids are cataloged. Who owns this company? Who started LifeTouch? They're doing this to all your kids. Take a look at your schools.
What? Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? I also added more to the jerky and ginger lemongrass. Thank you so much. Super cool. Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. Why would jerky walk around? Why would it do that? Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Some of these emails are so wholesome, aren't they? It's too bad they eat kids. A small insulated bag would be fine. I don't remember checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold, insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in a downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. And that's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky. Is there a time I could come say hi and drop off the beef jerky? And that's from Jeffrey Epstein. Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it, beef jerky and steak. Can Blank make some jerky? I think we should landscape all around the house to use the water if possible, if the main house is not enough. Are there any recorded images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky at all? No, there are no recorded or publicly known images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky. Who sends beef jerky to a lab for analysis? Wait, what? I was looking for the beef jerky as I knew it was in my suitcase, and I thought that maybe I left it on the beach, only to find a small plastic bag near my dog's bed. I'll email Francis to make us some more, as I need 6 to 8 ounces to send to the lab, and I'll forward to Francis the info to send to the lab directly. Guys, I think something's going on. What's this here? Commercial. Apparently it's his last girlfriend who's active on Twitter right now. Check the mail. Names for hers again. Oh boy, oh boy. People are saying this is Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend. And this is the same name as inside of the files. And her name change hasn't occurred since 2017, before the files released. After years of silence, the truth. Jeffrey was innocent. Really? Like, he just a good boy? He didn't do nothing wrong? Trapped by powerful people who silenced him. I was his last confidant, and I have the evidence that they're still hiding. I'm not suicidal, just in case. You'll know the whole truth soon. They sacrificed children to Lucifer. It's an entire cult. Jeffrey got involved in their operation for financial reasons and to obtain Comproprot, but never participated in the rituals. Oh, what is this here? I'll pull this one up and see it. That's crazy. She cooked in the brain? Maybe. She ate the brain? Yeah, maybe she did. Wire transfer request form. A 65-gallon... Guys, 655-gallon sulfuric acid with fuel and insurance charge? They are dissolving bodies.
I reviewed about 1,500 photos from the Jeffrey Epstein partial release, and I did it all on live. Even though I got censored, even though I got basically restricted by TikTok, I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw and what stood out to me. The first photos that you can see in the Jeffrey Epstein files is his estate. Basically his whole house in New York, and all of the portraits that he has of the victims, passed out or conscious, either way, right? A lot of them looked underage. I'm gonna put some photos up on the screen wherever. A lot of it was just out in the open, and you cannot tell me, if you didn't see this, right, you wouldn't have said a word. Any logical person would have said something about it. Second thing about it is the absolute abstract art that was there. It was completely disturbing. One of the photos, I think, had 2 babies that were curled up under a table. On top of the table, there was a portrait of a victim, just out in the open. That stood out to me. Another thing was with the portraits and the art was that there was a little statue, looked like bronze statue of a little boy just sitting on a bench. You know, something very normal anybody would have in their house, right? Pam Bondi said this shit didn't exist. None of this existed. It made no sense. Whatever, right? We move on. We look at the case file for number 2, right? Reviewed about 500 photos from that case file, and I saw a lot of prominent celebrities. One of those being Diana Taurasi, Bill Clinton, and Michael Jackson. Just all on the jet with literally the victims right in front of them. And I don't know if this is verified, but there was a photo that looked like Bryan Cranston, the actor for Breaking Bad, celebrating what looks like a birthday with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know, you can take a look and say it's Bryan Cranston or not. But there was a particular drawer in Jeffrey Epstein's office, a particular table that had the picture of Pope John Paul, a picture of the Saudi prince with Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and his wife Melania, all in just one little drawer, right? We only see the left side of the drawer. And by the way, Bill Clinton's on there too. Surprise. We only see the left side of the drawer. We don't see the right side. We don't see the individual pictures. Maybe I just, haven't reviewed the full thing yet and I haven't seen everything yet. But to me, I try my best to find the right side of that drawer and that table, but I couldn't find it. And everything was blurry after that. So, whatever. Another thing that stood out to me, binders. Binders with victims' names. All of those supposedly have photos of the victims. So all I can say is that it is sick. Absolutely sick. There's also some SA or S toys inside of a pink room that was that looked like it was for a kid's room. There's also schoolgirl clothes along with small robes inside of the closets. There's also pictures of Bill Clinton and Maxwell along with a victim just swimming, having the time of their life, right? Here's some more pictures of Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. And what surprised me probably the most out of all of the celebrities was Chris Tucker. I know that he came out and he said that he was a victim, but a lot of these photos do not seem like he was the victim. I don't know, how anybody could be smiling, in front of Jeffrey Epstein, but I digress. There's also Kevin Spacey and Bill Clinton with a underage victim. Two underage victims. One thing I don't see a lot of in these files is Trump. We do see him in the little drawer in Jeffrey Epstein's office, but we don't see him a lot in these images. Maybe it's just because I just reviewed 1,500 of the photos compared to the 7,000 that there are, but there is one photo that implicates Trump in this as is, and it is Jeffrey Epstein holding a check. The check that Donald Trump said was a fraud. We do see a lot of Bill Clinton also instead of Trump, which really baffled me because these two are basically the same. Why aren't they, in the photos equally? Well, I'll give you a theory. They probably scrubbed the shit out of it because the DOJ is corrupt as fuck. But I digress. You guys can figure it out. You also see Mick Jagger and Ghislaine Maxwell. Mick Jagger, a victim, and Bill Clinton. And then we have 2 more photos left. There was also a photo of Prince Andrew's wife with a victim. And the most disturbing of them all, I kept seeing about 40 of these pictures of this guy smiling. I don't know who it is, but he's always smiling in these pictures. Can somebody find out who this is? I really need to know who this is because he's smiling in every single picture, and it's probably the most amount of photos I've ever seen of him.
Okay, if you haven't been following my videos, go check them out because they're really weird, and then this will make sense. Okay, does anyone else think that this is weird? Okay, so you have a Wisner that owns Patton Squire Boggs that's connected to a Podesta, and I posted an article and they got in trouble for sex trafficking or like homophobic boy stuff, weird. Okay, then you've got the Thayer family. Colonel Charles W. Thayer took over Croupp's castle, and Croupp had Sex Island on Capri. Do you think that's weird? And then you've got the Bush's administration that had the Franklin cover-up with Boys Town, and I stayed at a Boys Town facility that was also called the Price Family Center, and the people people that raised me, their last name was Price, and my name's Cherishan Wisner Thayer. Does anyone think that's fucking weird? What?
We know what they were doing with these kids. We know that they were raping these kids, trafficking these kids. But it's way more. I think that they want us to focus on that, honestly. I'm starting to believe they want our attention on that. Because this is so much deeper. This is so much bigger than just that. And I'm not trying to take away from the severity of child. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't want this video to get censored at all. But this was like an experiment on humanity, on us, on gaining control, on like psychological. I'm bugged the fuck out, guys. I saw somebody on TikTok yesterday make a video about how they were going through the files and they saw a specific set of files that were repeatedly talking about time travel. It piqued my interest and I put time travel in the Epstein, in the DOJ, and I found this file. And then I found more files. And I found a file about an event that had all these scientists and all these like super smart people that study pattern recognition, literally the human mind, like psychology, AI. That's a big thing. Just let me get to it. Something called mental time travel. And I'm not talking about no like, you know, going in the past, going in the future in some magic hot tub. I'm not talking about that type of time travel. I'm talking about mental time travel. Mental time travel is the cognitive ability to project one's mind backwards to re-experience past events or forward to imagine future scenarios. Just follow along with me. The real conspiracy here is not about literal time travel, but about who gets to decide the future. This whole thing was a study on humanity, and they started with the children because they are the most vulnerable and they can literally have a fresh timeline on what works on us and what doesn't work on us. This whole thing is about control. These elites knew they were losing control and they needed a way to control us. These are the topics that were discussed during this event. Evolution of pattern recognition, brain development, advanced cognition, myth making, psychiatric disorders, artificial intelligence, the future of humanity. Let me read one line from this email that gave me chills. It's listed as number 7, which is the last topic that they discussed during this event. And that's the implications of a better understanding of the brain and its pattern processing mechanisms for the future of computing and the future of our species. The fucking name of this whole event is Creativity to Madness, Mental Processing in Human and Machine Brains. Honestly, we should all be concerned with fucking ChatGPT and all these fucking AIs that we use on a daily basis that are basically just fucking copying our fucking brain, our fucking thoughts, our fucking pattern recognitions. Number 4 was the mental fabrication of non-existing entities such as gods and ghosts. I mean, I've been woke to religion and like I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but Jeffrey Epstein was a businessman. He had no place in hosting these events where there are neuroscientists and artificial intelligence and psychiatric. It's so much deeper than a child S ring.
Look at this shit this girl found. CYM Corp. So they are selling blood adrenochrome per milligram. $1,900 per milligram for that grade A, that A+, that A1. Minimum order 100 milligrams. So, oh, you're spending 190,000. Oh yeah, but just, and then they got a shopping list or their hunting list. Have a gander at this shit. All the kids' names, birth dates, blood type, where they were taken from, inmate ID, and the day they were taken. Scary stuff, yo. This is what they're doing out there with our kids.
I love the torture video. That's what Jeffrey Epstein said to... And of course, we know the name of the person. It's not redacted or anything at all because they don't want to hide all the bad people from us and protect them when they should be protecting victims. And they would absolutely not redact the name of that person. And that's why we know, right? They would never redact that name, just like they would never redact the name of the person that Jeffrey Epstein asked, do you want me to just do her or do you want me to torture her? They would never redact that name either. They also wouldn't redact the name of the person that gave Jeffrey Epstein permission to kill someone. They would never do that. Why would they do that? They're just trying to protect us from the bad people, so of course they would never do that. They would never redact those names. Did you know that the intestines of babies taste like cream cheese? Did you know that? I know that now. I didn't want to know that, but I know that now because they figured that out when they were eating babies on yachts. Did you know that? Isn't that terrifying? It's a great thing to know. Did you know that they were making little girls into breeding farms where they would breed them over and over and over and force them to have babies over and over and take those babies? If they were miscarriages or if there were complications, they would rip them out with hooks and scary implements. Did you know that? It's a good thing that they would never hide the names of the people that did that because they want to protect the perpetrators rather than the victims. They would never do that. It's a good thing that we have a great justice system that would never do anything bad like take 200,000 plus documents that include the actual horrible things that were done like child rape and injury and hide those away and say that the case is closed and that we will never get to see those that included the actual bad things so we know exactly who did what. The government would never do that. It's a good thing they would never redact the names of the bad people and protect them. They would never do that.
Some of the philosophers can't do math, and some of the mathematicians. And again, mathematicians often break into two categories. People that solve problems. Those are more like geometers in the old days, just problem solvers. And then there's thinkers, theoreticians. They're more like the old movement towards philosophy. But neither one of those two groups have been able to figure out why something is alive as opposed to something that's not alive. No one's been able to describe what the soul is, but we all know it exists.
Check this out. Department of Justice website, Epstein files. Don't hit that search bar. Scroll down. In that bar, type in no images produced. Hit search. This is how you find the hidden files. Now you got to go all the way to like page 15, past data set 8. That's the ones that everybody has seen. So keep going, get to around page 15. And then a different data set should start. Yeah, there you go, data set 10. Click those files. You notice it ends in .pdf. Now go to the search bar, get rid of the PDF, and type in either .mp4, .mov, or .m4a, and that's how you get the files to come up. Tried MP4 first, didn't work. I go back, put in MOV, boom. Check it out. And then, yeah, I mean, I haven't gone through all of these yet, but there's going to be a bunch on there that nobody has seen, and just be careful. You don't know what's on there.
And remember, kids, The next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
Will? Yo, Dave, your house is on fire.
Let it burn.
Your house is on fire. Let it burn!
All right.